Today I want to talk about back rooms. These are essential in your business, whatever type of retail that you decide to do. Back rooms need to be spacious and you need to plan for growth. You may add products that you might not have in the very beginning of your initial selling in your retail location. So you need to be sure to allow for product growth and quantity that you're going to have and where you're going to put it, how you're going to stack it. You can get things like these right here that you can stack a lot of product on to utilize your space. You're looking at about 1,000 square feet. The camera probably doesn't do it a lot of justice to work with here. But if you're dealing with appliances or bigger type items, and you need to consider a lot of extra space. If you're going to sell lawnmowers, garden equipment, to really consider a lot of outdoor space and indoor space. We have an outdoor fenced-in concreted pad to keep extra outdoor type things like lawnmowers to sell if we were to need to use it for that. In my past, I've used that pad in this particular location for lawnmowers. And it depends on the type of product you're carrying. It's going to really affect the kind of space you're going to need. But another thing to consider as well is a good loading dock. You know, how you're going to get your product. The people delivering to you, you're going to have a loading dock for you to get your product. So consider what kind of ways that they're going to have to get your product to you. That's something you need to have a discussion with your vendor or manufacturer or distributor about. But we have ours organized so we can find product quickly. We can go pull product quickly. We can also inventory it all and audit it without a whole lot of extra work because it's easy to access and get to. So that's something else to consider, how you want to organize. If you have a lot of small products, I would consider maybe having a sheet of paper with all the products numbered on each one of those little pieces of paper, and every time that you take an item out of there and take it onto the floor to sell in your store, then reduce that amount of stock. It'll help with your process and help with your inventory. Now you can get a software that can help you keep up with that as well, but you'll still need to audit that as well as time goes along. These things can happen sometimes. Sometimes an incorrect product can get sold under the wrong SKU number. But back rooms are important, and how you receive your product is important. I've noticed some retail spaces and some of the strip malls have a very small back room. It doesn't leave you very much room to receive and to hold on to product before you take it to the floor. So please consider that if you're looking at strip malls and even sometimes standalone brick and mortar locations as well. Your space will be a little bit more limited, but you got to consider storing things that you might not even normally consider storing. Like we repair product, like this refrigerator, we'll be repairing it. And so it's important for us to have extra space to do that type of work. Sometimes we're holding on to appliances for customers like the one you see wrapped here. So we have to have the space for that besides our regular product, and where we can find the product and get to it pretty easily to be able to disperse it. Then you got to consider your shelving. Apologize, the light's a bit low back here, but consider your shelving and the other type products that you're going to need to use in your store for advertising, and lighting as well. You want good lighting, especially if you need to do an audit of your inventory or trying to find smaller things in your inventory. Lighting is important, and we need to replace a couple of our lights here. But we also have a workstation in our back room where we work on products. So we have a nice little setup here to take care of checking out washers and dryers and dishwashers and ranges. So I hope this helps bring a little perspective, some thoughts to the type of storage that you need. Consider getting those shelves. They're expensive. They can set you back a few $1,000s, but they're very handy in storing product to allow you to have more space for more product. As you can tell, we have some of our washers and dryers up underneath the shelf. We're able to stack other product on top. Some of it's just things we're storing from things, repair work we've done in the store, or things that we need for the future, lighting for our store. You just never know what you're going to need it for. So I encourage you to find a location or build a building that's going to have plenty of storage room. And then consider a loading dock, or if they're going to have some type of truck that's got a lift on it that can bring the product to the ground and you get it into your store. Also consider how wide your doors are, because some product doesn't just go through any door. These refrigerators are more difficult to get through the doors. We have a double door, and that makes it easy for us to be able to get product in and out. So consider that as well to your back room. Do you have a wide enough space to bring product in and out from the back? Are you going to have to have a storefront with, if you can see through here and I zoom in a little, we have double doors for the storefront so we can load product into customers' vehicles. So that's important to keep in mind as well. So I hope this helps a little bit in considering starting a business and taking into consideration the amount of room you need to store product. When I was overseeing a wireless company, we didn't have to have a lot of space, much smaller room, because you're talking about cell phones and tablets. But when you're carrying a variety of product, always consider for the future when you're going to add more things, because you're going to find products that work, some that don't, and other things you like to bring into your location. So consider that as well. You know, how am I going to store that extra product? So always think big, but not beyond your pocketbook, what you can afford. Have a great day. And this is Retail Reality.